So Jerome Powell and the Fed are making history as they just increased interest rates by 75 basis points for the second consecutive time to fight inflation. And the crazy part about it is the Fed, Jerome Powell, some of the reasoning behind what they're doing to fight inflation, one of the reasons includes record low unemployment, which is kind of odd to me because Mitch McConnell thinks that Americans are flush with cash from their savings being just laced with stimulus check money, which he said they'll go back to work when they run out of money. So now I'm a little confused. Is it Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell saying that there's unemployment and people don't want to work because they're living off of stimulus check money, or is it the other way around and we have record low unemployment according to the Fed and Jerome Powell? I'm not 100% sure on whose data they're using or what's actually going on. Maybe they're not talking to each other. Maybe they need to get on the same page. But at the end of the day, interest rates are up, and it's in an effort to fight inflation and try to balance demand and production to avoid a recession. And, ironically, a recession can occur before anyone actually knows because you have to analyze the data after the fact to say that you were in a recession. You can't say that you're going to be in a recession. You have to prove that you were in a recession. So, with that being said, we have to wait for the next CPI inflation report to come out to see what the effect was on this most recent interest rate hike. But you're going to have to expect some pullback again in the real estate market. Buyers are going to be affected. Sellers are going to be affected too because the buyers are affected. So basically, if the buyers don't have the ability to get the financing or financing costs more, which it will because interest rates have gone up, it changes everything for sellers because their buyer pool is going to be limited. Their selling price is going to be a determining factor in the buyer's ability. So I'm sure we'll see some sort of decline in real estate, but at the end of the day, how does that really affect what's most important, which is Americans' ability to afford just basic necessities and, food and utilities and then other issues that are at hand that the government really should be focusing on finding solutions to, which are major drought issues in the western half of the United States, and which will probably, we'll see shift over to the eastern part. So, don't think that just because it isn't happening to you now, it won't. But these are signs of the change of the market, and I have to say that I'm very, very happy to see so many people concerned about the financial future and their financial future. And I can say that with certainty because I've received countless emails about how to improve their financial situations, how to work on the basics. Really, you got to start with the basics. You got to understand where you are today and where you want to be tomorrow, and focus on the basics and how to get where you need to be by knocking out some very, very simple, very easy tasks. But for many, they just don't know. They just don't know. So we are expanding on that. And I'm very happy to see so many people joining the group. Links are in the description and continuously sending emails. But the best way is for this communication to occur is going to be within the group. So if you guys want to join, the links in the description. But, you know, before you can start making more money, I take that back. You can start making more money at any time. But if you want that money to be effective, we need to work on your budget. And right now, with rapid inflation, which the Fed is trying to control, and more higher prices on pretty much everything across the board until the Fed actually wrangles this thing in and prices start to come down, they're working on trying to make it happen, but it hasn't happened yet. So until that actually happens, making more money is going to be probably your best bet right now. And with that, make that money as effective. that tool as useful as possible by reducing costs and working on your budget. So if, for instance, let's just say a loaf of bread goes to $10 a loaf. I'm just going to stop eating bread. But with that being said, if that's the case and this is the norm and this is a constant, then we need to figure out, all right, where are we going to cut back on unnecessary items that we don't need to afford the things we do need? And how can we reduce some expenses that we have to have, but still keep them? So like, for instance, let's just say insurance. There are ways to adjust insurance coverages, and I'm talking about auto. Let's just focus on auto insurance. There's ways to adjust auto insurance coverages to reduce your premium. Now, granted, it's like a give and take. If you increase your deductible, you'll lower your premium. If you have any need to utilize your insurance and you have to pay deductible, well, then it's going to be higher. But in the meantime, your monthly expense for the insurance coverage has been reduced. This is just a 30,000-foot example of some of of managing your budget and some of the things that you have to have and you need that you can't eliminate, but you can work on reducing the cost. Something as simple as negotiating your phone bill, which probably every 6 to 12 months, you could probably negotiate your cell phone bill, unless you're doing prepaid or something like that, like Boost Mobile or Cricket or I don't know the other ones. But if you are with AT&T or Verizon or T-Mobile or I don't even know if Sprint's still a company, but with some of these companies, you can negotiate. If you aren't living like below poverty levels, if you aren't paycheck to paycheck, but you're barely progressing, you need to be, and you have high-speed internet, you have cable TV, you have satellite, you need to be negotiating these memberships, these reoccurring charges. You need to be negotiating them as often as possible to stay within the promotional pricing plans that they want you to forget about. But they also don't want to lose you as a customer. Think about Netflix, and they lost however many hundreds of thousands or millions of subscribers. If they had the ability to negotiate with these members and these previous subscribers, they would have to keep them so that they didn't lose all the money. They would just lose some. But some is better than none, especially now. And so if you are below, or you're at or near or at or below the poverty level, and you have cable TV, then negotiating the rate of your cable TV should not be a consideration. You shouldn't have cable TV. You should be in a position where you're willing to cut anything and everything except the bare necessities. Like Dave Ramsey would say, just beans and rice. That's it. And get yourself out of that spot. Get yourself out of that hole and on track and on the path to financial success and ultimately financial freedom. Because, you want to get yourself and your family to a point at which you don't have to worry about checking your balance before you make a purchase or a transaction. You don't want to have any bill come in and you make the minimum payment. This is where you want to be. You don't want to hear that gas went up 15 cents a gallon and it stresses you out. That should not be a concern. And we are going to get there. I do not give financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but I do share some very valuable information that has helped me over the years get to a position of financial freedom that I'll share with anyone who's willing to listen and willing to take action. So that's what it's all about. So if you guys are interested in that, come on over to the group. The links are in the description. And the email should be working now. Everybody said they were signing up. They weren't getting an email. It should be working now. If it's not, let me know. I'll see if I can fix it. Maybe check your spam folder. Sometimes things go there, spam or junk. But we are going to do our best to survive the situation we're in right now, which is New Mexico. We still want to see some national parks here, but New Mexico so far has been one of my least favorite states. So just the occurrence of two shootings yesterday in New Mexico, in Albuquerque and Las Cruces, in the same day, has made me not want to be here anymore. Hopefully nobody can blame me for that, but I'm ready to get up out of here and head back home. The trip has been fun. The trip has been great, but I've had my fun here in New Mexico, and it's hot as hell here too. So that's another thing. But we're going to continue on. I'll bring you guys some more updates as we hit the road and as these new developments come about, and what we're going to expect to see as a result of the Fed raising interest rates. What effect does it have on the real estate market, the housing market, realtors, buyers and sellers, and what it ultimately is going to mean for you if you're not in those categories, and how it's going to affect you day to day, and more ways on how we can formulate plans and strategies to keep our heads above water. Because honestly, if the Fed can't manage what they're trying to do, which a lot of economists and business corporations, analysts, there's so many people out there that believe that. I think BlackRock was one of them who mentioned this, and they're a large real estate investment development company, property management, and they don't believe that what the Fed is trying to do with raising these interest rates and this delicate little dance they're trying to play with the economy is going to work. They don't think that a soft landing is possible, and ultimately it's going to mean a hard crash landing and a recession, and maybe a deep recession. They just don't think it's possible. Okay, and I have my opinions on that, but at the end of the day, number one, if it is possible, then that is good. If it is possible, that is good. We can begin to get back to a sense of normalcy sooner. If it isn't possible, then some people are going to get hurt. But for those who are positioned well, they will be in a position for extreme growth and extreme gains, and a great opportunity to get in at a low price on some great opportunities to build wealth, and see a huge come up in probably a very short amount of time. And if the Fed can't manage this soft landing, and we do have this crash and this recession, and you haven't done what you need to do to manage your budget, start making more money, maybe get out of being tied to an employer, have your own small business, have your own side hustles, have options. If you don't do that, and we are unable to have a soft landing, the Fed and their interest hikes don't work the way that they hope they will, you're going to be in far more pain after that than you are now, if that makes sense. So the best thing for me is, like, I want everybody in my circle, my family, to continue to work to improve their situations today, so that tomorrow, if everything's okay, everything's fine. But if tomorrow everything's even worse, then it's time to make hay. And yeah, sure, maybe the US dollar will collapse someday. Maybe we'll completely switch over to some form of decentralized cryptocurrency. Maybe. But in the meantime, we're using US dollars, we're using cash money, we're using credit, we're leveraging assets, we're leveraging liabilities, and we're building wealth, plain and simple. And if it gets bad, we're going to be the first ones there to scoop up the pieces, like we have before, to maximize returns on investments in real estate, in the automotive sector. I'm not opposed to making money on vehicles. I don't know how many tens of thousands of dollars I made in the automotive industry in the last year, just by buying up highly desirable vehicles. I take that back. By financing highly desirable vehicles at a time when other people couldn't, and they were afraid. And I'll tell you, I had 3 that I can remember last year, and one of which was a Ford F-250 Super Duty Power Stroke 6.7 turbo diesel, Lariat FX4. I think it was a sport. That was a sport. So it had the blacked out headlights and blacked out. It was pretty black. It was pretty much blacked out. And then I also had a BMW. It was an F80 M3, and I think that was a 2017. I can't remember. And then I also picked up a brand new. It was a 2021, I think, I think it was a 21 Honda Civic Type R. And the beauty of that one was I was able to get it from a local Honda dealership at MSRP, where most other dealerships were charging $10,000 to $20,000 over in additional dealer markup. So I got it for MSRP. So I was already $10,000 to $20,000 ahead of the game for the fact that mine was what it was supposed to cost, and the rest of the market was higher. So, in addition to that, these were highly desirable vehicles. So they were already pretty much like sought after. And, my 250, it was under warranty. It was stock. It wasn't deleted. It wasn't abused. It was in great condition. The M3, it was, again, 100% stock. It was a individual color. It was a Laguna Seca blue, adds to the value. It was a competition, adds to the value. And 100% stock, adds to the value. And the Honda Civic Type R, same way. So in addition to them being highly desirable and me getting them at great prices, I leveraged the bank's credit when the rates, the Fed's rates were pretty much at zero. So banks were giving me like 1.5% to finance these vehicles with no money down. And I drove that F-250. I think I put like 30,000 miles on that truck when I was really heavy into construction. And then I sold it to a guy in Louisiana for more than what I paid for it. So you're like, Kevin, is that really a huge profit? Well, yeah. I got to drive that truck for free. I put it to work. That work made me money. And then I sold it for more than what I paid for it. And I only had to pay 1.5% interest to borrow the money from the bank to do it. And the M3, it sold really, really quickly. Actually, that was a competition. The car was a competition model, but there was a competition of people trying to get it from all over the country without even coming to see it. The way the market was, it was in such high demand at the time that I decided to let it go that I was up, and I had to decide who I wanted to actually buy it. I didn't have to wait to sell it. I had to decide who I wanted to give the opportunity to buy it. And the same with the Type R. Type R was unbelievable. But I was able to do that. I was able to, identify the opportunities in the market and go after them when, I was greedy when others were fearful, But I also had fun, too, because I love driving these cars. They're a lot of fun. And then, when the market, I thought was kind of at its peak, when it was great time to sell, I did. And sure, if I would have held on for like another couple of weeks or maybe a month, I probably could have got a little bit more. But hey, I ain't gonna be mad about the profits that I did make. But it's about being in a position to be able to actually execute when the opportunities present themselves. And if you're not, you have to sit on the sidelines. If I wasn't ready, if I wasn't prepared, and my credit sucked, and I didn't have any money, I couldn't have done these things to make more money, if that makes any sense. So I'm just trying to share this information with you guys. So if you guys are interested in any financial progression at all, let's have a conversation. Somebody asked me in the group, is this group about making a YouTube channel and being on YouTube? No, the group is not about making a YouTube channel and being on YouTube. The group is about improving your financial situation and identifying different strategies that can be executed to help you achieve your financial goals. I need to know what your goals are to help you, or to help provide information that can help you reach them. But I'm not trying to show you how to make a YouTube channel. Anybody can make a YouTube channel. Go turn on a camera, record a video, and upload it to YouTube. Done. You have a channel. That doesn't make money. That doesn't make money. Look, so either way, if you guys are interested, come on over. Links in the description. Check your email. You might have an email from me. And for those that are there, congratulations for taking the first step in improving your financial situation. And don't be bashful. Don't feel any kind of way about it. Tell me, say, look, Kevin, I've made some mistakes. I need some help. I don't know what this is. I don't judge at all. I love having these conversations. I love seeing people grow and seeing them progress and succeed. And I want you guys to do the same thing. You guys be safe. I'll see you real soon. Take care. Bye.